Hi,
Hi.
Edgar.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Rick. Hi.
How
Okay,
are
so
you?
for those who just joined us, this is Edgar from Indonesia. He's the SEA Games champion and World Wushu champion. He's the most fresh one because he's the latest champion. Okay, 2019. It was an awesome year for Edgar. Okay, so how have you been doing over at Indonesia?
Well, everything's pretty good right now.
Mm-hmm.
With this pandemic, also it's also pretty well, I guess.
All right.
Many good things we can take from this pandemic,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
I just love how positive he is. You know, the moment where he came in, we talked about as in when we have guests coming in to talk about the virus, right? The COVID-19. They tend to share about the restriction that they have. But Edgar actually mentioned that there's actually a lot we can learn. So you see, Edgar is really a very positive person. The first thing that he actually approach situation is to think positive. So is this the secret of a champion? The secret mindset, the
Well,
champion's mindset.
well, yeah, I think it is because I mean during our training,
Yes.
we usually have like bad days and we got bored, of course. And
Uh-huh.
sometimes we have to find something to make our mind happy, to make our
Ah,
heart happy, even
indeed,
though
indeed.
usually there is none. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
We
we
just
find
have to keep things going, right? As in
yeah we
sometimes
want
you don't need to really like see something physical or tangible to feel happy. But yeah, it's all in the mind. It's how you look at certain things. It's all about this
yeah
perspective. Yeah. Okay. So let us know your story a little bit more. Okay, because we have a lot of questions coming in. Okay. Especially after we post the IG story yesterday night. Okay, and then we get a lot of questions regarding the technical part of Wushu and stuff like that. Okay, so before that, there's a lot of questions. How long have you been training Wushu? So could you just share with us how did you start?
I started train wushu when I'm 8 years old.
Wow.
8 years
Okay.
old. So during that time, I have at my school there's an extracurricular activity,
Yes.
and
Okay. In the school.
there's only two options: dancing
Oh.
or
Okay.
wushu. That
All
time
right.
I have no idea what wushu is like. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what's wushu. And
Mm-hmm.
then I asked the teacher, "Hey, Miss, can I ask what is wushu?" And then the teacher just like, "Oh, it's like the kung fu thing, the fighting thing." And then I was like, "Oh." A little kid, when they hear fighting, they was like, "Oh, yes,
Very
yes, I want
excited,
to do
right?
this."
Yeah.
Yes, very excited.
Okay.
So yeah, so I choose wushu, and then the first time I train at the extracurricular activity,
Mm-hmm.
I look at the movement, I look at the wushu, and
Mm-hmm.
then all I can think was, oh, this is like the Jet Li, Jackie Chan, or Bruce Lee thing. Oh yeah, I know this.
Ah.
Oh, and I'm getting really excited, and I'm really happy that I chose wushu that time.
Okay.
And then the coach told me, "Hey, I
Mm.
think you have talent in this sports.
Okay.
So let's go. You can train at our dojo like that."
Mm. Okay.
And so when I went home, I asked my parents like, "Mom, Dad, so I have an extracurricular activity, and they asked me to train at their place." At first,
Mm.
my parents was pretty disagree because they think like they're afraid that their children
Fighting.
will
Get into a
fight
fight.
at
Yeah.
school. Yeah. So
Right.
it's second
So
approach.
how? Yeah. So sorry.
The second
Sorry to interrupt.
approach, the I told my parents, and then they were like, "Oh, okay lah, let's try, let's try." So and
Mm.
then we go to the
The,
wushu
the
club
dojo
that
cup.
time. Yeah.
Okay. So how old? How long have you? Sorry, there is a interrupt. Okay. Okay. Sorry, there is a lag. Okay.
Okay.
So how old were you when how long have you trained when the instructor spot you and tell you that you have a talent?
Uh, it's not long. I think
Okay.
two times training,
Oh, just two
twice,
lessons and then he spot you and he
just
think that
twice.
you had the talent.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, okay. Impressive. So so you started to train at the club, right? So you train in school and you train at the club. So how long was the training before you enter the national team?
I think it's about 6 months.
That is so fast. That means you
6 months.
trained 6 months and then you entered the national team.
Sorry, not the national team.
Uh,
The Jakarta Wushu team.
oh, Jakarta, the state team, right?
Yeah, the state team.
Just 6 months and you
Six
got
months,
in.
6 months.
Okay, so you started at 8. So that means you were 8 years old when you entered the state team.
Yes.
Wow, impressive. So I think you're really talented in this in Wushu. Okay, then how long did you progress from the Jakarta state team to the national team?
About 1.5 year.
That means you were about 10 years old?
Yeah.
That is so young. Okay, and now you are 21, 22, right?
Yeah, this year will be 22.
Oh my God, that means you spend more than half your life in the national team already.
Yes.
Right.
But I'm not always in the national team
Oh,
during
okay.
2012, 2000,
Oh,
2011, 12.
all right.
I didn't join the national team.
Oh, why was that?
Uh,
You took a break
my
or
senior got
rest?
selected in the
Okay.
selections.
Okay, so there is always a review of the selection of the national team. So it doesn't mean that once you're inside there, you are forever inside there.
Yeah,
Because you got to
yeah.
maintain the standard. Wow, okay. So is that the secret to why Indonesia has produced so many outstanding Wushu athletes over the years? I think Indonesia is one of the powerhouse in the international games. I have been seeing like so many outstanding athletes. They are like, it's not just like one particular style, whether it's in the Nan Quan, the Tai Chi Quan, or even in the Changquan, everywhere you can see outstanding athletes from Indonesia at different point of time. So maybe the batch before you, or even the batches way before ahead of you. I mean, there's so many. So what is the secret? Is there a secret that you can share with us?
I think for the secret, it's Indonesia Wushu team is very competitive. So when you're in the national team, there are lots of people waiting for us to fail and for them to go into the national team.
To replace you, right?
Yeah, to replace us. So usually we who's in the national team, we have to keep maintaining our progress and keep improving our movement and routine. And the one who wants to replace us, they also train really hard to replace us. So I think that's how we've improving very fast.
Yeah. So let's say that you're already here, right? And all these people are training to catch up. So they will actually make you go even higher. So in the end, everybody go up together. So it's a very good ecosystem because it keeps all the athletes on the ball and really progress upward. Because once you stop, people will easily just overtake you. So this is how the life is, right? If you take a break or you take a stop, that's it, right? There's always someone else to overtake you. So what is your training commitment like in the national team? So how many times do you train before the COVID? Yeah.
Before the COVID, we train 11 times a week.
11 times?
11 times a week. So
okay.
Yeah.
So one time, how many hours? How long is the duration?
Around 2.5 until 3 hours one time each training.
Wow, that's a lot. So if you add up, it's about 11 times. It's already more about 30 plus hours a week.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, so it's a lot of commitment, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
true.
for yourself, you are a full-time athlete, or do you have to study at the moment?
So I'm a full-time athlete. So when I graduate high school, I don't go into the university. So it's a pretty hard choice for me.
All right.
But then my heart just keep on saying like, just go with Wushu and let's see how far you can go. So I'll just take the leap of faith and here I am.
So mainly focus on Wushu, right? So what is the life like as a full-time athlete in Indonesia? So do you have like a lot of rules and to follow, or there's a lot of restrictions in your lifestyle? Or basically it's just train, eat, sleep, train, eat, sleep?
It's train, eat, sleep, train, eat, sleep. So it's pretty boring, but but our government is pretty good in managing us.
Okay, the government, you were saying that
the government is pretty good They really
Okay.
support the sports in
Mm-hmm.
Indonesia. So they also gave us like fee, not fee, wage
Allowance or wages? Okay.
allowance
Okay.
every month, and so
Okay.
uh, so that's how they motivate their athlete as well.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. So it's like a job also, right? As in as an
Yeah,
athlete, you train. So it's actually a commitment to the country because when you represent the country, all the attention is on you, especially for the fellow Indonesians. When they see their representative at the big stage, they will be
yeah,
cheering. And when you win something or you achieve outstanding results, it's not just you and your team that will feel happy, but it's a citizen kind of celebration together. Yeah, so I
yeah.
think this is
True,
a very
true.
good motivation for athletes, right? Okay, so yeah, go back to 2019. I think it was a very impressive year for you, all right? Because in the World Wushu Championship, you actually gotten two gold medals. Wow,
Three.
impressive.
Sorry.
Three gold medals, including the
Yeah.
Tuilian, right? So two individual gold and one Tuilian gold. So before the competition, did you expect yourself to be of the competition?
Sorry. You got.
As in, we got disconnected. Sorry. So, did you expect yourself to get the gold medal in that competition? That means before the comps, right? You had that feeling that okay, this is it. 2019 World Wushu Championship is the year for me. Do you have that feeling, or it was like an unexpected like goal for you?
Uh, it was an unexpected goal because I compete at the 2017 World Wushu Championship as well,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Uh, and I know who's my competitor, and
Mm-hmm.
I trained together with Wu Hua and
Ah,
together before the
okay.
World Championship, and I was like, oh my God, it's a whole different level, and I was like, oh, this one is gonna be a tough competition for me because I, I see the Chinese champion already, and then
Yes.
I'm imagining like all the other competitors from all around the world,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not pretty sure about myself, and just hoping to do my best. So it's
Mm.
like a pretty very unexpected goal for me.
But it was like so fantastic, right? So when you were on the arena, so you were just focusing on doing your best,
Yes,
right?
I was just
And
thinking like, I hope I didn't do any mistake. I just do my best, and the result
yeah.
up to you, up to the judges.
And indeed, right, you gotten like two individual goal and then one 对联 right goal.
Yeah.
So is there any like event that it wasn't a very smooth sailing journey for you or any memorable moment for any particular of the event at the World Championships?
At the World Championship last year,
Yeah. Yes, last year.
uh, there are lots of memorable events because that time my parents also come to Shanghai to watch me compete, and
Ah,
then
nice.
for Indonesia Wushu team is a really precious moment because
Yeah.
that time 2019 all of my senior in Indonesia Wushu team they retire.
Mm.
They
Yeah.
usually who got the gold Linswell and
Yeah.
Hulaifi, they retired already, and so my coach is pretty stressful.
Mm.
Like who's gonna get the medal, and we have to reach our target this year. And unexpectedly, I got the gold, and yeah, it was a happy moment for all of us actually.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So with that, so did you so after the World Wushu Championship, after a few months later, it's actually the SEA Games, right? So did you expect your winning streak to continue to the SEA Games as well? Because in the SEA Games, you also gotten yeah quite a number of goals, right? Yeah. So did you like thought of yeah the winning streak to continue all the way to the SEA Games? Was it an
Well,
expected thing?
well, at first before the World Championship, I have also not expect any medals at the SEA Games. I just hoping to do my best.
Yeah.
But when I got the gold at the World Championship, there's something inside me that like, oh no. So it means like I have to get this medal as well because
Mm.
I'm at the I got the gold medal at World Championship,
Yeah,
then
the
at SEA
highest
Games,
level
I
competition, right?
definitely have to get the gold medal as well.
So did that give you additional pressure?
Actually, no, but it adds more confidence in me, actually.
Ah, okay, okay. So how was the training like between the after you ended the World Wushu Championship and the SEA Games? Did you have the thought that okay, since I have conquered the biggest mountain, right, the World Wushu Championship is one of the highest. So like the SEA Games is there's lesser countries, there's fewer countries. So did you like put your guts down a little bit, like okay, since I conquered the mountain, the small little hill should be fine.
No. So it's the other way around. So after the World
Oh, okay.
Championship, I train harder. So it's like because I conquered this mountain, I have to conquer that mountain too.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's so I don't underestimate any competition. So all competition
Mm,
I have to train fully, train really hard for that competition,
yeah. So this
whether
is
is it big
really
or small.
Yeah, so this is really the commitment of an athlete, right? We do not like underestimate any competition or your competitors because you never know when you achieve the top position in one competition, your competitors may be working like even harder because they know where the standards is and they may easily reach your level. So if you were to get like complacent and stay at that level, they can easily overtake. Yeah, so
Yeah,
this is actually a very good mindset that an athlete should have. So for all those aspiring athletes, I think this is one of the biggest takeaway that you should like, put priority to. Okay, so were there any like precious or the most memorable moment in 2019 after winning like two major gold medals at two major sporting events?
well, actually, precious moments there are much, but yeah, horrible moments like
Mm-hmm.
when I compete at the SEA Games before
Yeah.
I got the gold medal, I got an information that my dad passed away.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm.
so actually, not a precious moment. It's like I don't know how to. I don't know. Is it supposed to be happy or is it supposed to be
Mm.
sad or
Mm.
I don't know. It's just like everything mixed up in one moment, and I don't know. My mind is
Yeah.
just like blank for like the next couple of months. It's just
Yeah.
like still don't know. Is it a dream or something? Yeah.
Yeah, because this is probably the complexity of the emotions, right? Because yes, at one point you actually attain a good results in the competition, but almost at the same time, you actually had to face a difficult period because your father has left. So and that would actually cause a pretty emotional roller coaster for you. So yeah, so how what was the toughest way or the toughest experience for you to overcome this? Or what is the biggest strength that actually helped you overcome this roller coaster ride in 2019?
Uh, the one that kept me going is like the support of my family,
Mm-hmm.
my friends, and my
Yes.
coaches. Uh, that's what kept me going. And I remember that I'm doing this not only for myself, not only for my family, but also for Indonesia, the whole
Mm.
country. And uh, all of them are relying on me. So there's a part of me that won't let them down. And that's what my dad also wants me to do.
Mm.
And yeah, that's what kept me going.
Yeah, so I think it's really a very proud moment, not just for your dad, but for fellow Indonesians as well, because they witnessed right a growth of an athlete, and then yeah, I think the support, the encouragement from the people around you has also contributed to your to overcome this difficult period. Okay, so with such an outstanding 2019, so do you face any pressure for the future competitions? Because you're so young, 21, 22, you were 21 when you got the medals, right? And this year 22. Okay, because now there's no competition, but in the subsequent competitions, do you think there will be additional pressure for you?
Well, of course there will be, but it's and that's when we know how to control ourselves more.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Mm-hmm.
at that time is a test whether you are really a champion or you just got lucky.
So have you ever thought of like retirement? Because a lot of athletes, right, once they reach their highest peak, right, once they reach the peak and they get the best achievement that they can ever get, the next step that some of the senior athletes or the seasoned athletes will do is to retire because they already achieved their goal. So has retirement ever come to your head after achieving such a goal?
No. I'm thinking that I'm still really far from the word retirement. Because at my mind, I also think like every time I finish a competition, I'm going back to zero. I'm no one. So the next competition, I'm not a world champion. I'm just another athlete who wants to compete at that competition. So I think like for you to be enough for what you get, for what you earn,
yes,
it's not a good thing when you're being an athlete. So when you think you reach the peak, I'm pretty sure there's much more on top of that.
So you have
your
to
peak
keep like
is
working
not-
hard, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's still another peak to conquer.
Conquer. Yeah, there's another mountain, right? After conquering one
Yeah.
mountain, there's always many mountains to conquer. So this is as like the comment that I see here. After every competition, we all start from zero, right? Because it's reset. Achievement or a result from competition A will not affect competition B because they are totally different events, right? So so everything will start from zero, and then we got to work hard from there. So after achieving the world championship, how has your life changed? Or it's still the same?
It's still the same. It's pretty much the
Okay.
same. So
Okay.
what makes it different is this virus actually.
But
But if there's no virus, I think my life will be pretty much the same because I'm a full-time athlete.
Yeah.
So nothing will change actually.
But wouldn't you get like more attention like after getting like such an outstanding world title into your belt, right? Yeah, because probably in the past you were trying to work very hard, but once you have reached the highest level, so I think attention would be all on you, right? So I think in terms of a publicity, in terms of when you walk on the street, people were like, "Hey, Edgar," they will like recognize you more. Yeah.
In that part, yes, a little bit, not that much, because
Okay.
Indonesia is pretty big, and sometimes people just like looking at me like, I think I know you, but is that?
is that you?
Yeah, is that you?
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of she's really very humble. So Edgar is very humble, because sometimes when we see athletes, some of the athletes when they reach the highest level, then they tend to go more onto the superstar track, whereby they start to get like more endorsements, sponsored items. Yeah. So for Edgar, he really continues his training, regular lifestyle. And really work hard, right? And not like complacent and just sit there, hey, I'm the champion, all hail, Okay, so what would you say? What would your biggest strength be as an athlete, as a Chang Quan expert?
I'm
What
gonna
makes you stand
go
out?
with
Yeah.
my confidence. So it also applies in my training, not only in my competition. So every time I train, every time I compete, it's just a mindset, not to act that way, but it's a mindset for me.
Yes.
To let all my my ability to come out during the training or competition. So I have a mindset that when you go into that carpet, you are the best of the best.
Yeah, indeed.
It adds another confidence inside you, so you can explore all your ability during you train or during you compete. And a lot of my coach also said to me that your confidence is really high. It makes the aura of yourself stands out during you perform.
Indeed.
And I think that's pretty much what's the strength.
Your strength, that you have.
Yeah,
because I saw your IGTV, because I think last month you actually shared the video, right, at the world champion. You posted the video. So it's like when you see Edgar when he's off the carpet, like waiting for his turn, he's like very chill. And then the moment he's like going to enter the arena, right, so he actually it's like that moment he will just change, and then you were like, wow, his confidence start to come up. So it's like you snap, and then hey, yes, I'm the athlete, I'm the champ, I'm coming. Yeah, so I think this is one of the biggest factor to an athlete, right? You have to feel really confident about yourself, and and you must have the capability as well. And we have a lot of questions about how you do your nandu so well. It's like it's speed plus height add together, perfect. You're flying throughout the whole entire arena. And your landings, all your nantus are very stable. How did you do it?
Well, if you said that my nandu is kind of perfect, actually it's not, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm just finding what suits best in me. I don't say that my nandu is the most right techniques or the most perfect spin or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that, but uh, I mean, for all athletes, you have to find what technique suits you best, what
Mm-hmm.
makes you comfortable, what techniques can make you jump really high.
Mm-hmm.
But also you have to add another physical training for your strength, for your
Mm-hmm.
jumps, for your spin. It's also a must to train
Mm-hmm.
those things. But don't try to copy others' jump. Just know what jump suits you best.
Mm.
And to obtain that, it's not like only obtaining that for like a day or twice training, but like
Okay.
months of training, years of
Mm.
training, and you'll find what suits you best. And
Mm.
it needs a lot of experience, like fails, like succeed, injury. It's all what you have to go through to be at certain
Level,
point
right?
of level.
Yeah. So it's really got to as in you got to really spend a lot of time to explore the different styles. Yeah, because in terms of wushu movements, it may be one simple movement, but there are many ways to execute it. And because everybody's body structure is different, some of our hands are longer, some of us have more strength in the upper body.
Yeah,
So there are different ways to execute a movement, and you have to find the best way for yourself. Because no two athletes, no two individuals are the same. So we have to really spend time exploring, try the different styles, and then choose a few or shortlist that one and perfect it to make it yours. So I think that is how Edgar actually, wow. Every time I see you in the competition, it's like, oh, wow, superstar. You're like a Superman flying, it's really,
thank
really
you, thank you.
awesome. Yeah, so probably later you could also share with us some of the training that you do, because this is another uh, request, overflow of requests. What is the training method the Edgar adopts? So later, at the later part of the session, Edgar will be doing some of the demonstrations or some of the exercise that we can do at home, especially now during this a stay home period. Okay, you
Yeah,
can easily do what Edgar would be demonstrating later, and I believe if you do it consistently, it will help you. Okay, you cannot just do it once and that's it. It got to be consistent. All right.
yeah.
Okay. So before that, before we go to the hands-on, let's take a look at some of the questions that some of the viewers have. Okay. So yeah. So okay, we have a comment here. Edgar, you need to cut your hair. Is it because?
Yeah.
So is it because of the situation that you can't head out to cut your hair, or you would like
Yeah.
to keep it longer? It's a trend.
No, it's because like in Indonesia, it's the virus is getting increasing every day,
Yeah.
and I'm scared to
Mm-hmm.
go to the haircut or even
Head out, right?
ask someone to come to
Mm.
have a home home service of the
Yeah.
haircut.
Yeah.
And I'm also scared to ask my mom for help to
Mm.
cut my hair, or I'll be bald.
But yeah, so
So
so good look is
yeah,
important, right? Yeah, you
so
still want to
just
look
keep
good.
it long because there's no competition ahead, and just like
Okay.
I want to try something new with my hair
Okay. So
because I
maybe
never have a long hair
and
before,
before,
so
right? Yeah.
it's my
So
time.
the main thing is to stay safe, and you never know, everybody. Just keep waiting, okay? Because
Yeah.
once there is upcoming competition, Ega may just come in a different like hairstyle, in a different image, and then maybe rock and roll. Yeah, maybe a totally different image. So yeah, keep a lookout. All right, maybe yeah, you will be surprised. You never know.
Yeah.
But don't worry, Edgar will always look good. Okay, he will look confident whenever he's appearing in front of us.
I
Okay.
hope so.
All right. Okay, and the next question is okay. So do you have a Wushu idol?
I surely have. So my Wushu idol actually is at Indonesia as well.
Yes.
Both of them are my coach.
Oh, okay.
And both of them are World Wushu champion. So
Awesome.
the first one is Gogi Nebulana.
Mm-hmm.
He's the first Indonesian athlete to achieve the world
World
champion medal.
champion, right? The medal, right?
At
The first world champion
2007.
in Indonesian, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it. I saw his name. Yeah. Awesome.
And then the second one is Susiana Chan. She's also known around the world for her techniques, her movement, her routines. Both of them are just wonderful. So yeah, they're my idols.
All right. So see, coaches are really important to an athlete, right? So their influence, whether is it in terms of the character, the skill, the technique, yeah, coaches really play a very big part. So a special shout out to all the coaches out there who have been working hard, grooming like athletes. Really, we thank you so much. All right. Yeah, because without you, the athletes won't be able to shine. Okay, so it's a special shout out as mentioned by Edgar. Okay, his idols are his coaches. Okay, because they're really good role models, right? Okay, so let's take a look at another question. Okay, this question interesting. So, who generally are your competitors in the world stage? Okay, to paraphrase this, who do you always look forward to competing with in international competitions?
Wow, there are lots of amazing athletes.
Yeah.
But I always look up to like Joanne, because SEA Games, I met him, Asian Games, and then the World Championship, all competitions, international competitions, usually I met him.
Okay.
Since we were junior, at 2010 at Singapore, we met each other, and then it goes on every year. And then I also, Ilyas from Russia.
Russia, yeah.
And then from Vietnam.
So actually, the Southeast Asian region athletes are actually pretty strong, right, in Wushu itself. Yeah, because you get to see them a little bit more because of the SEA Games, right? So yeah, because I'm also from Singapore. Joanne, I will record this part and I will send it to you because yeah. So I think it's also a good form of motivation, right? So we don't just like athletes don't just see like, okay, you are going to like defeat you, you know. Yeah, it's not that way. Or rather, you actually set a target or motivation to really work hard together, and you never know one day in a particular competition who will emerge the winner. But you will know that, okay, these people are the ones that I always see in the Wushu scene, and these are probably my biggest hurdle who's preventing me from getting the medals. So yeah, so this is pretty interesting. So yeah, so do you is there any group of friends from any country that you always look forward to meeting to have fun during competition? So not just in terms of competition, but fun.
Yeah, of course, there are lots of them.
Yeah.
One of them is from your country.
Okay.
I suppose you know him.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Wow, very good. I feel very happy for the Singaporeans athletes. Yeah, you see them as a competitor, you see them as friends. Yeah, so I feel quite proud.
And then Joanne as well. And then there are a lot of friends from Russia. And then, wow, a lot of them actually.
A lot of them, right? Yeah.
A lot of them.
But this is really a good experience, right? As an athlete, you get to meet fellow passionate athletes, Wushu athletes from different countries coming together. So I think this is actually one of the big takeaway besides good results or experience, but friends, right? Is one of the most valuable take-home emotions or experience that you always have. Okay, so let's have another question. Let's see. Okay, here. How do you motivate yourself during home practices? Yeah, because I think most of us or some of us tend to be a little bit lazy when we are home, because home is the place where we are very comfortable. So how do you keep yourself motivated to train?
Well, it's pretty hard to find motivation when you're alone at your home, and then you can find, sometimes it feels like I can't train tomorrow, or just train when this virus is over. I'll catch up everything later. So that kind of mindset is the one that's gonna destroy you.
Mm.
So I always think like when I don't train, all my competitors are training at home, and if I don't train, they will left me there, and it's hard for me to catch up with them.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I also always think about my target. What do I want to achieve? So like, I always think like I want to beat China. I want to beat Wu Chaohua. I want to beat Sun Peiyan.
Mm.
And that kind of stuff makes me like, oh my God, they're training right now, and I'm not. Oh,
Moving.
I have to
So
go training.
yeah, otherwise you will get like further and further from your goal, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So having this this thought in your mind is the main push. So you must be very clear, everybody who's aspiring to achieve good results. You must always keep the goal in mind so that whatever you do will actually lead you to the goal. Yeah, so don't just take it like, okay, I will just rest for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and then you never know, you rest for 1 whole month. And then you realize
yeah.
there's a big drop in your fitness and your techniques. Okay, so I think we can move on to a more technical question. So let's see. Okay, wait, do you have any tips to improve your nandus?
Uh, so the most important thing when you want to do your nandu is first your explosive power,
Yes.
and then your speed when you spin,
Mm-hmm.
and then your leg strength when you land.
So these three parts, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
these three
explosive
parts.
power to jump, the leg speed when you spin, and then when you land. So these are the three factors. Okay,
Oh, and another one, the momentum when you want to jump.
jump. Okay, so
Yeah,
four. All right. So the
four.
momentum, the explosive power to jump, the speed of your legs to turn, and the last one is your landing. So these four
Yeah.
components are very important. Okay. So how do you like work on that? Do you have like any like exercises that you want to show us that we can do it? Yeah. Or
Sure.
any tips?
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Is it
for the
convenient? Is it convenient?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
for
So
the explosive
yeah.
power,
Yes.
we don't need any like equipment. You
Okay.
can use anything like a chair or anything,
Mm-hmm.
something's higher than you,
Okay.
and just like
Go up and jump and land.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. So for those
yeah.
of you who just joined us, Edgar is actually sharing some of his exercises to improve the explosive power. Okay, so this is a sharing by our world champion. So be sure to take note, okay? Because a lot of you have been asking us. So this is his answer to everybody. Okay, so that is how Edgar actually train his explosive power. So you can either use a chair or a firm platform to do that. So usually, how many reps do you do and how many sets? Did you for that?
Usually one leg I do it 20 repetition, and I'll
Okay.
do like 5 sets, one leg.
Okay.
So
So
those legs will be like 200
200.
times jumping.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 200 times, everybody. You didn't hear
Yeah.
wrongly. It's 200. Okay. Don't be shocked. This is the amount of reps our professional athletes do. Okay, to keep their fitness and strength at the top-notch level. Okay.
But
I got good. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry, to add, when you firstly do it, I mean, you have to know yourself. So don't push yourself too much doing it like me, like 200 times. Maybe
Okay.
at first you can do like 50 or 100. Just know yourself, know your limit.
Okay, so you can actually set progressive goals, right? Progressive reps. So you don't one shot do 200, okay? Because Edgar has been doing this for many years, right? So if you are starting, probably you can start with like maybe 30 reps, and then after that you do 50s, 80. You increase the reps over time. Okay, Edgar, can I trouble you to do it again so that the viewers
Okay.
out there can see it? All right. So for those who have missed it, so basically you will put one foot on the platform, and then you will lift your whole body up and jump. Yeah. Okay. So depending on your ability, okay, you can set the ideal number of reps. Okay, so that's one, right? So do you have any
Yeah.
other exercises that you have?
So this explosive power is for your quadriceps.
Yes. Okay.
And you can train for your calf muscle.
Okay.
Actually, it's an easy kind of thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to jump, like a lot of
Okay.
jump. But
All right.
usually people jump with bending their knee,
Yeah.
right? Sorry.
Okay.
All you have to jump is
Mm-hmm.
jump without bending your knee. Just use
Oh,
your
okay.
calf muscle.
Okay. So to really work on the calf muscles, as much demonstrated by Edgar, when you jump, you try not to bend your knees. Okay, so keep your knees straightened, and then you will actually train more of your calf muscles. Okay, so for this, how many reps do we do? Same.
Maybe, yeah, you can do it like 200 times or
Okay. So it's
100 if you just start doing it.
okay, so these are the two exercises that we can train. One is the quadriceps, and then the other one is the calf muscles. Okay, so this will actually improve in the jumps, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so are there any others? Like how many are you going to show us today? So at least we have an idea.
Probably for these jumps, you can
Okay,
like four kind of things to do.
okay.
So we do twice already,
Two. Yeah,
two
two.
items already,
Yeah.
and the other one is like you need like tiles, like
Okay.
square tiles,
All right.
and you can search it on YouTube
Okay.
about the techniques, about the types of things to do. It's for the movement of your feet.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can search on YouTube ladder drill.
Oh, ladder drill. Okay. So,
Yeah.
but you don't really need a ladder to do it. If let's say you have tiles at home, you can use the
Yes.
tiles as a reference, right? Okay.
Yeah, you can use a tile. Yeah.
Okay. So what?
So for example,
Yeah. So he
for
actually
example, it's
Edgar is
just
now
like
demonstrating. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. So he actually do some agility movements. Okay.
yeah.
So it's like up, up, down, down. So as he mentioned, there's a lot of resources you can tap on YouTube, right? So you can just
Yep.
search ladder drill, and then yeah, you can always get some ideas from there. Okay. And this is the next one. So there are different patterns and different tempo that you can actually adopt, different sets that you can do. Okay, so Edgar has demonstrated two, right? One is the front, back, back, and then after that he did an alternating footwork. Okay, all right, and then oh wow. Okay,
This is
so you
the
look
pretty
at this.
complicated one.
Yeah, so there are more and more complicated ladder drills. So it depends on your practice. Okay, so what does this exercise help in, basically?
It helps you for your explosiveness and for your momentum and for your leg speed. So when you want to jump,
yes,
usually people jump always like they just keep on running since the first step.
Yes.
But actually, the most important thing when you want to jump is focus on your last two steps. That's where you have to give all your powers and your explosive power so you can jump high and jump straight.
Okay.
So usually on the first two steps, I'll just like walk.
Okay.
And the last two steps, like
accelerate. Okay.
And jump.
Yeah. So for Edgar, with his jumping technique, okay, especially for the momentum, he actually placed more emphasis on the last two steps. Okay, so he actually take casual steps for the first two to really get like a rough momentum. But when he reached the third and the fourth step, the last two steps, that is where the speed or the burst actually comes in. All right. So so with the ladder drill, it actually trains your agility, okay, and also the speed of the leg as well, and also the momentum. All right. So can we have the last exercise, the last one?
Oh, by the way, for the ladder drill.
Yes.
For the ladder drill, it's not just for about your nandu, but it's also for your whole routine. So during when you wanna add speed to your movements, this ladder drill is really important for you to train.
Okay, so it's also for the execution of your movements in the routine, not just the nandu, not just the jump. Okay, it's also useful for the entire presentation, entire execution of the routine. All right, so it's a good exercise. Okay, so if you can do it, I think you can easily conquer the more complicated movements in Wushu.
Yeah.
All right, so for the last exercise, go ahead.
So the last exercise, you actually need a resistance band. You can search for it at the online store.
Okay.
It will probably look like this.
Okay, so this is the resistance band. So for this exercise, you will need it. You can easily purchase it online. All right. Okay.
So This is for training your landing when you do nandu.
Mm-hmm. So this is for
You
the
just
landing.
tied it around
Okay.
and wait.
All right. Thank you, Edgar, for adjusting. Yeah, he's giving us the best angle, okay, to make sure that everybody at home can watch it.
All you have
Okay.
to do is stretch this a little bit and do
Uh-huh.
mapu.
Ah, okay, okay.
And
Interesting.
at this point, you know when you land,
Mm-hmm.
what power,
Muscles.
what muscle do you use when you land and not failing. So here I
Ah,
stretch
okay,
this
okay.
muscle and my hip
Okay.
muscles
Hip muscles.
and my core muscles, and
Mm.
yeah, this is how
Okay,
you train
okay.
how to
Your
land
landing. Yeah.
perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because after a jump, sometimes the impact for you to land it can be quite heavy, right? Because your body
yeah,
weight you have to is going downwards, so you have to be firm. But which muscles are you going to activate? So some of us may be confused or we are unsure, right? We just try and just flex our whole body, but it will look very stiff. So with this resistance band that Edgar is using, okay, you can actually feel which are the muscle groups that is being activated, and then you are actually training that muscle group so that when you land, you will actually have a more stable finish. Okay,
yeah,
so is this the same for both sides?
yeah. Same.
Yeah, all right, because when you do your 顺风脚 is one side and then you do your Wi-Fi is
What
another
by?
side. So Wushu is all about balance. So you can just use the resistance band, hold it, and you can land in the Mapu position. Okay, to feel what is it like to do to land and activate the muscles after a nandu. All right, so as you mentioned, so all these four exercises really helps to improve in the four components of the jump. The first one is the momentum, all right, to before the jump. The next one is the explosiveness to jump up high. Okay. The third one is the speed of the leg to go fast. All right. And the last one is the landing. So these are the four main components, and these four exercises will really help to improve these four factors. So for those of you who have been asking how to improve Nandu, how, here it is. Okay. The training of a champion. So if you miss it, for those who just joined us, don't worry, because we will upload this video on IGTV. You can always replay and watch the demonstration by Edgar again. All right. Okay, Edgar, want to make yourself comfortable? Yeah, because we can have a
Okay.
conversation. Yeah. Okay, so Edgar is really very nice and generous with sharing. You see, he's actually putting the cameras in the different angles to make sure that we get the best view. And he's actually walking around to the different facilities and using different items to show us the effective training that he has been adopting for the past few years to maintain his high level of Wushu execution. Okay, so yeah, all right. So in terms of Nantu, have you faced a situation whereby you sustained an injury before?
Well, of course, I think all athletes
Yeah.
in the world, they'll of course experience an injury.
Yes.
It's for sure.
Yep.
And for me, the worst injury I've ever get is
Mm-hmm.
my back injury.
Oh, okay. What happened? What caused the back to get injured?
So before 2017 Sea Games, it's
Yes.
like a
Mm-hmm.
month before the Sea Games.
Okay. 2017.
I'm doing 整道, and
Okay.
then when I do my
The full
jump,
routine. Mm-hmm.
suddenly I stretch my back, and I can't walk, I can't stand, and the doctor said that my bone is moving a little bit
Oh my God.
and makes
It's
me
causing pain, right? Because of
yeah,
the alignment is off, right? So it actually
yes,
causes
yeah,
pain. Oh my God. And that's 1 month before the SEA Games in 2017.
yeah.
So how did you overcome that?
So
Rest.
for a month,
Okay.
so I experienced it at China. So
Okay.
for that 3 weeks
Mm-hmm.
at China, I every day go to acupuncture
Okay.
to the doctor, and they help
Mm-hmm.
me to fix my back every day
Mm.
for 3 weeks,
Wow.
every
Okay.
day.
So
And
during this period of the treatment, do you still train?
no, I can't even
Oh.
walk, so I don't know how to
Oh,
train
okay,
actually.
okay, okay. So it's a pretty bad injury. So he really had to stopped, right, and had treatment for 3
Yeah.
weeks. Okay. Then
So and then
yeah, go ahead.
I went back to Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't train.
Yeah.
So just right before we're going to Malaysia for the SEA
Mm-hmm.
Games,
Yes, in KL, right?
it's a start for me to just can train a little bit.
Oh my God! Wow.
And then at the Malaysia, we arrived at Malaysia. That's the time where I did my Zhengdao before
Wow.
competition.
Oh my God! But how many? But that means you didn't have much of a 整套 practice, right? Before the
Only
competition,
2
right?
Zhengdao before the competition.
Wow! Oh my God! This is wow. Okay, this is pretty yeah, overwhelming because usually when a competition is nearing, all the athletes tend to step up their practice for full routine, the 整套, right? And to get the stamina going and to get the momentum going. But for Edgar, he only had the chance to do 2 整套 because of his injury before the SEA Games. Wow. But the main thing is that you actually had to seek professional help, right? To treat the injury. So whoever is like whoever sustained injury, please go and seek professional help. Okay, because you really want to get back in action. Okay, do not rush. Okay, make sure you are back into your condition 100% so that you can continue your training effectively. Otherwise, there's always side effects, right? If let's say that
Yeah.
you don't have a full recovery and then you start training and then it will always come back and haunt you. Okay, so yeah, even so for Edgar, it's probably would I say that it's a lucky experience for you or it's a lucky
Yeah.
timeline that hey you can make it in time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look. We have a few more minutes, so we can have a few more questions. So let's see what are some of the questions that people have. Okay, so let's see. I have a question on the weapons. Let me see. Okay, so what are the basics to focus on for weapon form or weapon routine? So yeah.
The most important thing when you do your weapon routine is
Mm-hmm.
the basic movement.
Yeah.
So when you do your, for example, Tao,
How? Yeah.
you have to
What's what?
repeat the Fang Fa every day. That's what
Mm.
my Chinese coach always give us to train. So every
Yes.
day before we do like the Fen Duan, before the Pan Dao or anything, we have to do like the Fang Fa.
The techniques,
So
right? The basic techniques.
yeah, the
Yes.
basic techniques, because it's the foundation of your movement and the
Mm-hmm.
foundation of your routines.
Yes.
When you have a bad foundation, all your routines will not be good.
Mm.
But if you have a good foundation, well, it's gonna improve your routines really good.
The whole execution will actually
Yeah,
be better. All right. So yeah. So those of you who are asking about how to improve the techniques and all those, really there is no other shortcut than training. All right, and it has to be consistent. You got to keep working hard on the fundamentals. Don't rush into the more advanced or more complex training. Always go back to the basic, especially during this period, right? When
yeah,
everybody is stuck at home. Yeah, focus more on the basics. All right, because it's the foundation that sets your base to really enhance your performance as a whole, the whole routine. All right, and I can see in the comment section there is a lot of athletes or a lot of Wushu enthusiasts from different countries who are joining us. I can see your Jessie. Your Jessie is here. Okay,
Hi Jesse.
Jessie. Okay, and
Oh,
I see the Wushu coach from Malaysia as well.
Malaysia.
Yeah, okay, U5 is also here, and a few people coming here. So they're all really looking forward to your live today. Okay, so we have about 3 more minutes. So let me see what other questions I can have Edgar to answer. Okay, I think this is probably a good question for aspiring athletes. So, are there any advice for the younger ones or the younger aspiring Wushu athletes? Yeah.
If you want to go far in this wushu career or in this
Yes.
sports,
Mm-hmm.
you have to follow your passion,
Mm.
not just for this wushu, but for your life.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a passion in this wushu, all the bad things happens in this sport, you can enjoy it, and you always can find the good things in these sports.
Yeah.
That's when you have a passion in something. So if you want to go far with something, follow your passion and do it with all your heart. And I'm sure everything what you've been through, all the efforts will all be paid off
Will be worth it.
in the future.
Yeah. So you got to really enjoy the whole process, even though
Yeah.
it's not very enjoyable, it's not very fulfilling, it's not very satisfying. You just have to overcome it and enjoy the entire process, because it's a lifetime commitment, right? To really excel in Wushu, as in you compare to other sports. I always use Wushu as an example, because Wushu itself, it involves so many like components of fitness in terms of flexibility, speed, and strength. You know, for example, I'm not saying that table tennis or swimming is easier, because like for example, let's say swimming, right? You're an athlete, you are swimming freestyle. You just need to work very hard on improving the technique of swimming, or of the freestyle, right? The stroke and the breathing and everything. But for Wushu, it's so complex, right? You do a kick itself, you need strength, you need flexibility, you need the showmanship. There's so many things that you need to put into perfecting that movements. And you got to repeat this for the whole entire routine, which may be like 1 minute, 20, 30 seconds. Yeah, so it's a lifetime commitment. So you really have to put your heart and soul in your training and enjoy the process as much as you can. Otherwise, it's going to be a very painful experience. Yeah. So this is a very good advice by Edgar. And we are left with 2 minutes. Okay, so Edgar, any last words for any viewers out there, or any like any words you want to motivate the Wushu community as a whole?
There isn't much, but if you want to do Wushu, do it with all your heart and enjoy all the process, because it's not gonna be all the good stuff, but there will gonna be a bad stuff, and there will be gonna be tons of bad stuff in this sports. But just enjoy it and do it with your heart, and yeah, I think
you will
that's it.
succeed, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you will succeed.
Okay, so really a big thank you for Edgar for taking the time off to share so many things, his story, his experience, his technique, his wise words. It's a very good sharing, and I believe those who have joined us, it's an insightful session. And for those who join us late, like Jesse, okay, don't worry. We will always upload the video up on IGTV as usual. And don't worry, you can always access them. Okay, so once again, thank you, Edgar, for coming. And the next episode of a Wushu Stars Connect, okay, would be next Saturday. Okay, and we have an athlete from Philippines who will be joining us, a Tai Chi expert.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's pretty exciting so far, because we will get to meet or communicate and connect with different athletes across the world, not just from one particular country, but we try to branch out so that everybody will work together to promote Wushu as a whole. And hopefully one day Wushu will be in the Olympics. So, right?
I hope so.
And I also can, so that we can see Edgar being an Olympic champion.
Wow, my dream.
Yeah, okay. So thank you all, and thank you for accompanying us, and we hope to see you soon. All right, thank you, Edgar.